today we're going to be looking at the very famous parallax effect, and we're going to be accomplishing that using jQuery and obviously CSS. And to show you this example, I have already made the markup. This is all the markup we're going to be needing, and basically we're going to be using the parallax effect on these four divs. So let's start styling them. Let's style our first div, and I'll give it a height of, let's say, 100 pixels and a width of, let's say, 300 pixels, and I'm going to give it a nice background color of a shade of red, I guess. And okay, so basically what parallax means is when you scroll the window, some animation or something takes place, and usually this means that some element is scrolling relatively slower, faster to some other element. So yeah, and to accomplish that, giving our object, the object we're going to be parallaxing must have a position of absolute, so that it doesn't disturb rest of the document if it has a static or relative value position. So we have that, and let's offset it from the top and from the left by, let's say, 200 pixels and 100 pixels. So yeah, this is what we get, and let's start giving the parallax effect to this first. Yeah, so I'm gonna in my script file, I'm gonna call an event listener for window dot scroll, and what this does is this says that whenever the window is scrolled, whenever the user scrolls something on the window, do this whatever inside is written. So all right, so I'll be creating a variable called, let's call it scroll, and let's call it scroll px. Stands for scroll pixels, and it's gonna be the height of the it's gonna be the amount of the number of pixels we have scrolled from the top. So let it be this dot scroll top. So I'll just show you. Okay, so to do a test, let's console.log this every time we scroll. So scroll px px, yeah. So what this small code says is that whenever the window is scrolled, uh, get the whenever the window is scrolled from the top. Okay, so what did I do? Get this value, which is the height of the which is the window which is above the screen, like the height of the window scrolled, and console.log it. So let's see on the console. Just refresh it, and okay, obviously. So the window is not going to scroll until we give it some height, like to scroll. So I'm just gonna give my body a height of, let's say, 2500 pixels, and let's try that again. Yeah, so okay, what are we doing wrong? Oh, okay, how do I, okay, yeah. So yeah, so all these values, all these numbers you say you see here is the amount of pixels I've scored from the top. And as you see, as I'm going up, this number is decreasing, and as I'm going down, this number is increasing, and now I'll be going up. Yeah, so this is basically our the number of pixels we have scrolled from the top. And what we basically want to do is that, for, let's say that we're gonna parallax it to so that it moves half the speed of the window scrolled. So we're gonna be using the CSS translate property to give it the parallax effect. So let's call in a function. dot item1 dot css transform translate y, because we're going to be slowing it in the y-axis. Pixels. All right, so how many pixels is this gonna be? Let's say maybe scroll px. So what this basically says is for every for whenever the window is whenever the user scrolls the window, uh, get the height from the top which we have scrolled, and assign it to a value scroll pixels, and move this object downwards by the same amount. So let's see the effect take place. Okay, so this makes this object fixed, because you see, uh, the as the window is going upwards, it's going downwards by the same amount. So if you want to slow it down, let's divide this number by 2, or you can even slow it down further by dividing it by 3 or something like that. So what this means is that whenever the window is scrolled, and get the height at which we have scrolled, so for every 2 pixels scrolled, this object will move down 1 pixel. Okay, so we need to define like it is happening right now, but we can't see it, because we relatively need something to see the effect. So I'm gonna style these 4 also. All right, so let's call it an let's style item2, and I'm gonna give this one a height of, let's say, a 300 pixels, a width of 100 pixels, background color of a nice shade of, let's say, green, and position absolute, and I'm gonna offset this from the top by, let's say, 400 pixels, and from the left by, let's say, 150 pixels. Yeah, okay, something's wrong. Item2, this is what's wrong. Okay, sorry, my bad. Yeah, yeah, so this is a second object, and you'll see that this object, the green one, moves faster than the red one, because see, you see, I told you. So that's basically our parallax. And another thing we can do is translate our thing so that it goes right or left as we scroll downwards. So let's style a third item for that. So maybe I'll give it a height of, let's say, 150 pixels, a width of 200 pixels. Maybe make this a circle. So border radius of 50% to make it a circle, and position absolute, and let's offset this from the top by 300 pixels, and from the left by 400 pixels maybe. And yeah, let's give it a background color of, let's say, a good tint of blue. Okay, so this is our third object, and we're gonna be using the parallax effect on it, such that as we scroll down the window, it goes to the right or left, not up or down. So okay, I'm gonna be a lazy daisy, and copy paste this again, and change this to item3, and change this to translate x, which means on the x-axis, on the horizontal axis. And okay, so what now we're going to be observing is that the amount of pixels I scroll up or down, this circle is going to be going right or left, but still not accomplishes what we want. Okay, see, Okay, maybe I want to move this towards the left, so I'm going to give it a negative of the scroll pixel value. So if you only look at the circle right now, what we see is that the circle is going diagonally, but we want it to only go to the right or to the left or to the left. So we also need to give it a translate y property, translate y, which is going to be equal to the scroll pixel value. So it's going to be translate y plus um, it ends like pixel and scroll pixel. Perfect. So now the circle is not moving up or down, but only right and left when we scroll, and this is basically accomplishing a parallax effect. Another thing we can do is fasten the parallax. So let's do that with the item number 2, and what we see is that, all right, so rather than I should have copied that one. Now I have to figure everything out again. Yeah, so rather than dividing by the number of pixels, what I'm going to say is that for every pixel it moves, not a negative value. For every pixel the window is scrolled downwards, scroll my green rectangle towards downwards every 2 pixels, so it's going to be twice as fast. Okay, something wrong. Yeah, this is what is wrong. Translate y. Yeah, so you see it's moving fast. Okay, let's cancel this parallax, maybe maybe comment out this parallax. So now the item 1 is going to move like how it's supposed to without any parallax. So now you see it's going downwards for every window scroll upwards. So okay, so every time window is scrolled upwards, like the no, every time the window is scrolled downwards. No, okay. So every time the window goes up, uh, this green rectangle goes down every 2 pixels. So it's like every time it's like normally it is supposed to go up at the speed, but it will be going down at the same speed. If we want to accomplish twice the speed, we can multiply it by 3. Now it's going down twice as fast. And obviously we can change the direction by giving it a negative value. So now it'll be going 4 times of that, uh, of how it's supposed to. So this basically accomplishes our parallax, and this is it, I guess. You can, as you can see here, let's make them all meet. How do we make them all meet? We make this translate faster, and we make this translate faster. I Let's make translate at the same speed. uh, Still not meeting. We need to translate it downwards into 2, I guess. Yeah, still not meeting. Maybe my dreams are, well, my dreams are all rip my life. I can't make them meet. So this was for the parallax tutorial, and as you can see, they are moving at different directions at different speeds, and it's just this simple. So maybe check out my other videos, and thanks for watching.